There's a job for someone to do. Everyone expected someone to do the job, but no one did the job. Everyone blames someone for not doing the job. Meanwhile, anyone could have done the job. How does that concern you, you would ask? It has become imperative for everyone to participate in the political journey of our nation, Nigeria. To avoid is a talk show for political news, interviews, features, and satire, where you see things differently, know better, and also contribute to the discourse of today. We ask questions that go beyond just talking points. We press the aspirants of details of what they plan to do differently and how for a new Nigeria to evolve. Good evening and welcome to Let's Talk Politics on Mitv Lagos. My name is Adaku Ibe Awurumibe. Tonight we will be talking about the happenings in our nation. We'll be looking at the People's Democratic Party's crisis, the deepening crisis in the party. We'll be talking about their convention and what happened yesterday at Wadata Plaza. We'll also be talking about the kidnapped schoolgirls in Kebbi State. And to think that after a few hours, another one happened in Kwara State is devastating. Nigeria is really going through a lot at this time. We will also be looking at the POTUS, his tweet to Nigeria the last time. That is the President of the United States of America, Donald Trump. We'll be discussing his tweets to Nigeria. People say it's a threat, others say it's a warning, others say it's drum of war. We'll be talking about it tonight. And to do this with me is Barrister Fred Nzako, a lawyer and an economist. He will be talking to me.
Progress no dey happen just like that. It dey come from support when you need am.
Mommy, I got the school fees. You too much.
Na money point o.
Money point, thank you.
Customer, na transfer abi? Confirm.
Bro, na transfer. It's na peace of mind when you know say payment go land at Sure Banker. Progress na small wind where they carry person go far.
No worry, yourself go make am. Go buy.
Victor, even you they use money point?
Of course now, they use money point.
Confirm.
Money point, made for your progress.
You're welcome back. This is Let's Talk Politics, like I said earlier. If you're just joining us, you're not late. We're just starting about the PDP crisis. You know, it's been going on, you know, since 2015. You know, but this time around is deep inside. So the People Democratic Party is currently in a deep internal crisis at its national convention in Ibadan. The party elected Kabiru Tanimu Turaki San as the chairman, replacing the acting leadership. Ekiti State National Secretary Sam Ayanwu, former Ekiti State Governor Ayodele Fayose, and some others now, and we'll be dissecting all. He's gonna join. We'll be dissecting all. He's gonna join us. Hello, good evening, Engineer Barrister Zako.
Good evening.
How are you today, sir? How was your day?
Very well.
About the PDP internal crisis, firstly, before we delve into the other topics. Now, something happened yesterday at Wadata Plaza. What is your take on that concerning PDP and its internal crisis?
Well, it has been aptly described by many observers as a show of shame and a very terrible disappointment on the part of the Nigerian people, and all a system that is expected to be coming out has now been taken back by the actions of gladiators, made up of governors, ministers, elder statesmen, leaders in the society, political elite, all manner and classes of people. It was truly and truly a very big shameful disappointment. And when you begin to look at what happened and why it happened, now you extend the blame to even beyond the political gladiators themselves. The blame will involve so many people outside the Wadata Plaza. The executive, the presidency, and the ruling party has been fingered. The judiciary has also been fingered, because it is the failure of confidence in the judicial system that themselves have reduced their integrity, balance, and shameful development.
Okay, when you say the presidency has been fingered, what do you mean by that?
It is a very obvious fact, except one wants to live in denial, that the charade that is going on, the challenges that have been going on in all the opposition political parties are being orchestrated and think like that. To start with, who is the FCT minister? What is his interest that he has turned himself into an internal opposition of his own political party? That he has turned himself into the cancer that is eating up his own political party and his physiology. What is the reason why Mr. President will tell Nigerians that he takes delight in crisis in opposition parties because he gives him joy? Whereas politics is good governance, which does not only end up with actions of the ruling party, but the constructive criticisms and that stifles and emasculates opposition is not allowing the political space to grow positively. And that is why respect has to be given to constructive opposition and constructive criticism. Now uses the finances of the state, now uses the security apparatus of the state to emasculate, muzzle, and twist. It simply shows that such commander-in-chief does that is what
Justified by whatever he is doing to PDP, going by what happened during the PDP convention before this political era. So what do you think? Do you think he has a reason to be doing what he is doing at this point?
Anybody who finds in that position in trust for the people, and such a person should be appreciative of the opportunity to lead and to serve the people. Today, there are about 50 or thereabout ministers at the federal cabinet out of a population of over 220 million people. So what does it tell you? It tells you that anybody who is so appointed has found favor and has been very well opportuned. So some of the actions you'll be taking while sitting in such positions of authority and opportunity and the trust for the people will be geared towards the welfare of the people. The problem that is in PDP is not only affecting the PDP, the people themselves. The members of the PDP, the main victims are the Nigerian masses, the Nigerian people. They say when two elephants fight, the grasses of two politicians or two political parties that are one the ruling party and the other the main opposition party. Whenever there is fight in between them, the grasses that suffer will be the Nigerian people, who would have benefited from the constructive criticism or constructive opposition of the opposition party and the good governance presented by the ruling party. And of course, good governance is also
Barrister Zako, a minute.
Yeah.
You know, I tried to take you back to what happened in 2023 during the PDP convention. Where is it, 23 now or 2022, when PDP had their national convention, the party's constitution? But while there, they changed everything and said anybody can vie, and that made Wike to be very angry with the party because he does not have a say on that. And people are saying that it was because of that incident that he's doing whatever he's doing today, that he said he would never allow PDP to breach. Do you think he is right? That is what I am saying. Do you think it's right to be behaving the way he's behaving against PDP? Yeah.
Which is not right at all. And that's what I'm saying, that what he is doing, scattering and pulling down the house of PDP, is affecting the Nigerian people. That is what I'm saying.
Okay, now, do you also think that PDP to have zoned to to the south and all of us on and said anybody can vie? Do you think they did the right thing?
No, the PDP didn't zone the presidency to the south. There were moves and there were agitations and opinions that they should zone it to the south, and there were also some calls that it should be zoned to the southeast. Some people say that in PDP, and the people like we frustrated that microzoning to the southeast because that is microzone to the south, and then let's go for the election. The anger with Wike was that one, he lost that, and two, he felt that the politics that they played at the convention was not in his favor. And three, that the chairman of the party then almost taunted him when those days now brought the kind of that Wike had held on to. But then Wike now made himself available to spoil and pull down that party from within. It became very obvious that he was working for the then candidate of the APC, but eventually emerged as the president of that with a very juicy ministry at the FCT. So all these are politics. Because if you begin to say, oh, Wike, he was not the only candidate that ran for that election. He was also not one of the candidates that the presidential candidate of PDP come from. They will tell you that he naturally would have come from the southeast. So what happened to Wike at the convention was a product of what he schemed and he planned. And at the end of the day, he lost out and started dragging down the house. He succeeded in dragging down the house because he had robust back.
No.
So PDP, what they have done is that they are trying to manage Wike and his men over the years since 2023, and it has become very difficult for them to do so. So they decided to confront the issue frontally, knowing fully well that the matter will end up to the Supreme Court. So that at least the earlier they start the battle on all fronts, then the better for the party. Because if they don't do so, they will never rescue the soul of the party. And that is why they held the convention and went ahead to go and occupy the territory to anybody that could lead to bloodshed. In all of this, the ultimate loser is the Nigerian democracy.
Yeah. Okay. So the convention that took place in Ibadan, is it legitimate?
Well, Why? Why wouldn't it be legitimate?
Was INEC there?
Everything that INEC must not be there. The electoral act did not say that INEC must be there. The act said INEC should be informed. The act said they may. The act did not make it compulsory that INEC must be there. Of course, you don't go and tie rope around the waist of INEC to drag them to a battle.
So are you not surprised that INEC have not said anything since the PDP crisis, since yesterday?
INEC itself is confused as we speak because INEC wants to be not to be seen as supporting any side. And that is why they want to wait until I can tell you that before INEC recognizes any side in this divide, it will be with Supreme Court pronouncement because they have left the High Court, they have emptied themselves into the Court of Appeal, and after the Court of Appeal, I'm sure there will be immediate action that will march on to the Supreme Court. Until the Supreme Court makes a pronouncement, INEC is not likely to recognize any side. Okay,
until the Supreme Court makes a pronouncement. Do you think the Supreme Court is going to rule in favor of the other faction, that is not weakest faction? Bearing in mind the president's comment yesterday or so about the judiciary.
No, it will be very preposterous and very unprofessional for me to sit down here and begin to think of where the Supreme Court will place their judgment one way or the other.
Going by the antecedent.
No, we have not even gotten off the ground from our appeal court. Okay. You can only begin to hazard a guess when you have gotten off the ground of the appeal court, so that by the time you look at all the issues canvassed and the direction of thoughts by the justice of the appeal court, then one could now begin to hazard a guess that it could be one way or the other with the Supreme Court. As we speak, all the information that would be utilized to canvass for any position in the courts have not been laid bare because they have taken their materials, and then until then they will begin to think the direction it might go.
Wow, okay, let's take a short break, Barrister Nzako. When we come back, we'll be looking at the kidnapped girls from KB State. Stay tuned, don't go nowhere. Let's take a short break.
Progress no dey happen when you need her.
Mommy, I got the school fees. You too much.
Na money point o.
Money points, thank you.
Customer, na transfer abi? Confirm.
Bro, na transfer.
Na money point oga. Oh, na confirm.
Progress na peace of mind when you know say payment go land as sure banker. Progress na small wind where the carry person go far.
Mogo Bible.
Victor, even you they use money point?
Of course now, they use money point.
Confirm.
Money point, made for your progress.
You're welcome back. We were talking with Barrister Fred Nzako, a lawyer and an economist, who were talking about the PDP internal crisis and what is in for them. But right now we're going to be talking about the kidnap of the girls of Comprehensive Secondary School, MAGA, in KB State. It's very unfortunate that we are having series of kidnaps and series of attacks from hoodlums, kidnappers, bandits, and you know, a lot of people have said Nigeria is becoming like a war-torn zone, not a country, a war-torn zone. Every day we hear one bad news or the other, kidnap here, attack there, and all that. Let's look at the attack on the Government Girls Comprehensive Secondary School in Maga, KB State. This resulted in the death of the Vice Principal, Mr. Hassan Yakubu Makoko, and 25 girls were adopted. The police has confirmed the breach occurred around 4 a.m. on Monday, with gunfire exchanged before the attackers fled to an unknown location. I am Barrister Fred. I don't know how we're going to start this, but it's so unfortunate that every day like this. What do you think the government should do better to protect our citizens, especially our young children in secondary school, more especially in these places of violence, bandits attack and all that? Looking at Chibok girls and several like that. What do you think the government should do differently?
It is really a deja vu and a sad reminder. Chibok and the 2018 kidnap of the schoolgirls at Dapchi. And a couple of other kidnap of schoolgirls, innocent, helpless, harmless school children whose only crime is that they sought knowledge and they went to school. It's a very terrible. By the time when government had repeatedly claimed that they had decimated the terrorists, three things that worry me in the Nigerian environment are: one, how on earth do we have these incidences of so-called repented terrorists? And not only that you claim that they are repented, they are being reintegrated into the armed forces, reintegrated into the society, and in some cases even be given some enhancements and some fiduciary treatment as if they are regular citizens. The second thing that worries me about the Nigerian environment is this idea of baptizing and rebranding terrorists as bandits. These are narratives that have not allowed these crimes to go. Terrorism is an international crime. It's a crime against humanity, and by UN Convention, UN Anti-Terrorism Convention, any country around the world can assist another country to attack terrorists, because terrorists are seen as common enemies to mankind. And instead of intentionally, under President Muhammad Buhari, rebaptized them and rechristened and rebranded them as bandits. Banditry is a domestic crime, of which it is the duty of the country to attack and treat issues of banditry. And because of the United Nations international law on sovereignty of nations, countries outside your territory will not come in unless they are invited to help them come and attack bandits. And with that baptism, or rather with that rebranding, criminal rebranding, the terrorists have become bandits. And they are doing everything to show that they are terrorists. Abducting, killing, kidnapping, doing all manner of harm to Nigerian people for no just cause. I think one of the major things that we need to do as a country is to give these criminals the real name that they deserve. Call them terrorists, because that is what they are. Two, invite any country or any of us to remove them. When President Donald Trump of America said he was coming to help Nigeria remove this multi-headed cancer that has been affecting Nigerian society, like a lot of Nigerians rose in applause, but the government itself, living in denial, rose in rejection. Meanwhile, the government is unable to protect the people. The government is unable to save the life and property of the people of governance. Another thing that worries most Nigerians is that how can another country profile terrorist sponsors, hand over their names to Nigerian government? For many years ago, Nigerian government has not been able to make use of that list or do anything. It simply tells you that there is more to all these issues. So with this, you find it very difficult to advise the government. Even security experts from within and outside Nigeria, they find it very, very difficult to even advise the Nigerian government, because what is going on in Nigeria is not ordinary. It is not as shallow as anybody thinks. It is so deep that it only takes very strong political will to solve. How can there be so much sabotage within the system? In an environment where even those agitators of war have been crying that they are not receiving the right support. Meanwhile, every year we project huge offense. The whole money, you do not see the result. Every year we claim to have acquired a lot of arms and ammunition from all parts of the world. At the end of the day, you do not see the result. Nigeria's problem is deeper than anybody can imagine. But those in authority, especially those at the highest level of government, they know the problems, they know the solution, but they lack the will to implement the solution. And that is why Nigeria continues to bleed. There are certain videos that when you watch them, you won't be able to sleep. And it comes out almost on a daily basis. How can ragtag people that are not trained in any way overthrow Nigeria and hold Nigeria to ransom for the past 16 years? Oh goodness. Something is wrong somewhere.
Yeah, something is wrong somewhere. You beat me to that. You know, there was this write-up somebody wrote. Let me read a few. The person said, within the last 72 hours, number one, ISWAP admitted and killing a serving general. 2, 25 school children were adopted in Kebbi State while their teacher was killed. 3, a priest and other community members were abducted in Kaduna State. 4, terrorists killed 3 and kidnapped 64 people in Zamfara State. 5, terrorists attacked a church in Kwara State and killed 5 people. But guess what? Now, that beats my mind. The death of one person outside Nigeria, a state like a country like US, they take it seriously. When an American person is kidnapped in Nigeria, they will use all the forces to make sure the person is rescued. But here in kidnapped before the end of the day, and it doesn't mean anything to us. But why must our president leave at this time? That is the question people are asking. Is he supposed to move from this country at this time when we are having this kind of issues, especially these girls that were kidnapped on Monday?
There has been a regime in Nigeria, and just like you read out, in the past 72 hours, all these terrible things have happened at various parts of the country, in various states.
Yes.
And the government still found it not necessary to take action. Nigeria put his trip, in a manner of speaking, possibly adjusted his timetable, maybe by 1 or 2 days, and has sent the vice president to go and communicate with the people of Kebbi. I had some people clapping, midst of this agony on the faces of Nigeria. The applause was because people in government view politics more than the life of the common man. The applause was because
That's allegedly.
Allegedly.
Don't say them, yeah.
In that interview, government officials on surrounding killings of Nigerians.
Yeah.
And when you also balance it with the cries by the soldiers and the theater of war, you will only end up with the conclusion that the government is not doing enough to fight insecurity and is not doing enough to fight insecurity in Nigeria. It will also tell you that the government has the solution that fail, and he will be showing you the camps of the terrorists, meaning the governor openly accused the minister of the terrorists, meaning the governor openly accused the minister of defense, the immediate past governor of that state, or rather the former governor of the state, that he was the one, or the former governor of the state, that he was the one funding, fueling, and supporting terrorism in his state. It is not a secret. The current governor of Zamfara, Dadalawa, made the allegation against Atawale, the Minister for Defense. So, at that level, what does he tell you? But they are afraid to act.
So in your view,
the reason why they fail to act, I do not know.
Okay.
But I can only join Nigerians to say government must act.
Based on your view, do you think Donald Trump is real? Do you think Donald Trump is right for saying if the Nigerian government does not act now, it will immediately?
I earlier said and made an allusion to the International Convention on Terrorism. It's a UN convention which empowers any country to step into any other country irrespective of sovereignty and remove terrorists, because terrorists are criminals against humanity and criminals against man, and remove the terrorists that are troubling Nigeria and the Sahel region and the whole of West Africa. As a matter of fact, Nigeria has become a hotbed activities, even more than any other country in West Africa. Why is it so? Why are there no terrorists in Benin Republic? Why are there no terrorists in Ghana? Why are there no terrorists in most of the countries that surround Nigeria and other countries in West Africa? Why are there only terrorists in Nigeria?
That's a beautiful question.
It tells you that these are problems that have solutions.
Let's invite 033274416 to be part of this program. We've talked about the PDP crisis. We're talking about the kidnapped girls from KB State and Donald Trump's tweet to Nigeria saying U.S. will act immediately. That's the summary. So what's your take on that, calling to be part of this? Barrister, go ahead, sir.
Yes, so it's very mean to remove your government or stop your democracy. Trump is coming to help Nigeria. That was why there is that proviso, because he knows and other world leaders know that the problem is not surmountable. And that thing that is given is that people are being killed on a daily basis. If anybody is bringing an argument of religion into it, look, such will be very pedestrian and a secondary issue. The primary issue is that Nigerians are being killed, and that America has the capacity to come and remove those that are killing Nigerians.
Yeah, but other school of thought are saying that America is interested in
who has not witnessed or who has not been affected. Anybody who thinks like that is either the person is very callous security that is anchored on the economy, or the person is outrightly being very, very insensitive to the plight of those who are suffering. That's all.
Okay, so going forward, what do you think? State governors, not have governors. We have representatives in the House of Reps. We have senators. We have chairmen. We have councillors. What do you think we can do differently to make to bring security down the villages, so that you will know your neighbor. When you see they can do differently to enhance security in Nigeria, to avoid all these killings every day. Because it's not just in the north, it's also in the south down here. A lot is going on in the south here, but they are not reported like the north is being reported.
All the instruments of coercion in Nigeria are in the hands of federal government. The ones in the hands of the state and all the federating units are not strong. Police, DMI, SSS, all of them. But no governor can give instruction to the commissioner if the IG at the center gives a counter order. In Enugu State, Governor Wanye was the governor. He sent messages and cries that they had intelligence report that they were going to attack the citizens at Nimbo in Ozowane. Did anything happen? And massacre the people. And they do their best, but you cannot hold them outrightly responsible for the failure to protect the lives and property of the people. And that is why we have been asking that at least let's start by giving them more responsibility through the state policing structure. Today, clubs and sticks, when the people they are working against up in arms against them with sophisticated weapons. So how are they going to secure their people and their places?
Let's take this call. Let's take this call, Barrister Fred. What's your name, sir?
So I'm watching the program that go on in Mitv now.
Okay, so what's your take on what we've been discussing? We've talked about the kidnapped girls, PDP, and we talked about Donald Trump.
And all this insecurity now. We need to allow the US to come and rest. Whatever they happen to all this our problem, that's why they neglect Nigeria people. So,
okay. No. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Barrister Fred, please go ahead, sir.
Yeah, so it is important that we invite others to help us. Recall that in the early days of terrorism in Nigeria, some other countries came in. America sent some of their sent assistance. France sent, Israel sent, and they wanted to work with the Nigerian military, at least share intelligence. And they found out that anytime they shared intelligence, the intelligence will leak to the enemy territory.
Let's take another call.
Yes.
Good evening. This is Let's Talk Politics. Chicks, could you reduce the volume of your TV set?
All right.
And be brief, please.
All right. Insecurity in the north.
Okay.
The elites in the north should be able to tell Nigerians the truth about it. They know the truth. They should stop telling Nigerians. That is firstly. Secondly, I want to talk to the issue of PDP crisis.
Okay.
This PDP crisis, the stakeholders in the PDP, if their own interest is not a selfish interest, they have the interest for the interest of the people. They shouldn't be doing this kind of thing they're doing.
Thank you, Mr. Chooks. Thank you. Thank you so very much. Time is against us. Barrister Fred, please, your last word in a second.
Well, my last word is that we need to do two things. One, we need to sustain our democracy because we have identified it as the lives and properties of Nigerian people. Okay.
Barrister Fred, thank you for being our guest today. I enjoyed discussing with you. Thank you so very much, and God bless you, sir. Good night.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good night.
Our viewers, thank you so very much. Ade from Edo, thank you. Chicks from Enugu, thank you very much. And Barrister Fred said that we want to sustain our democracy because it's the. Thank you so very much for being part of this program. Those that called that I couldn't take their call, I'm so sorry. Next week is another date. Thank you. My name is Adaku Ibe Awurumibe. God bless you.